This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Watch us fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hello there, Internet.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello,
Welcome
hello.
To
Blah.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
He is. He still is. And it is a That Ain't Right Friday. Welcome to Friday.
It is.
Hello.
And it's a cool
Artie.
Friday
Happy
episode.
Friday. Hello, Rusty Shackelford. What you drinking? I'm not drinking anything. I don't have anything left. I think he's got a coffee over there.
I got a coffee, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Says back already. And we are happy to have all of you guys. Thank you very much for joining us for a Friday. Now, couple things. Let me do this because I want you to see it. I'm going to share my screen. Yep, it's about as good as I can do, guys. Okay. So I've got an article here.
Which is kind of cool that we're mentioned in an article anywhere.
Well, it was an article written specifically about us, which is,
you know what? You know what we should do?
to me.
We should email the author of this article and ask
Yeah,
him if they
I'd love to have him on.
want to. No, I was going to say do an interview of us for this
Yeah, that'd
website.
It'd be great too. So this is at LoneStarLive.com, and I'll share the link here in a little bit. It says, get your King of the Hill fix before the revival premieres with this dedicated podcast, and it starts talking about us. It says, King of the Hill co-creators Mike Judge and Greg Daniel appear to be keeping their lips sealed about the premiere date for the animated series' long-awaited revival. But that's not stopping fans from discussing past episodes and analyzing every breadcrumb they can find about the upcoming season. Take Bois, a King of the Hill podcast, for example. This podcast has been around since 2022. Host Rusty Shackelford, no, not Dale Gribble's alias, and Michael Hamilton. I love that they use my formal government name.
They'd use your full-blown name there.
Recently sat down with Waco, Texas's CBS affiliate KWTX to talk about the podcast, how it came to be, and what listeners can expect as a reboot approaches. Like many fans of the show, Hamilton told KWTX, I just can't remember. I just remember kind of identifying with King of the Hill when it first aired in 1997. There wasn't anything on TV that talked about our way of life, and by that I just mean a little slower Central Texas feeling. Shackelford echoed Hamilton's sentiments, adding, you can go to any neighborhood in Texas and meet these characters. They're people you know in your real life. They're really relatable people. He hopes listeners and viewers connect with the podcast relatable content in a similar way. The very first episode of Bois, King of the Hill podcast was released by Rogue Media Network in 2022. On the show, Hamilton and his co-host analyze King of the Hill scripts line by line. You guys have been there for that. Each episode focuses on a specific script, but with the reboot coming soon, the show will have brand new content to analyze. They've already posted an episode talking about possible episode titles for a revival that appeared on the Writers Guild of America's online project directory.
We did do that.
Speaking of the revival, Hamilton told KWTX he hopes the show stays true to what we know and love now. New episodes of Bois, King of the Hill podcast drop at least once a week. It's twice a week. Viewers can tune in on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Very nice.
Well,
Thank
you know what's
very
even
much.
crazier about it is somebody actually had to go through our YouTube.
They went through that. Yes, they went through that, but they also
No, because look, they not only did they go through it, they timestamped
Yeah.
one of their links.
Yeah.
They went through
did
our
they?
YouTube and timestamped one of the links to go and talk about because the episode we did episode titles.
there we are.
So they went and they actually timestamped the link, so they listened to something
That's
and
really
they had to
great,
dig
man.
through. So, I think I might email and reach out to
It's very cool.
just
It's
to thank them if nothing
It's
else.
extremely flattering. You know, like I say, it's just kind of a fluff article or whatever, but still, it's very nice to be mentioned in an article. And have an
Hey, I
article
don't mind getting
completely
fluffed
written
up.
about it. It's
I don't
great,
mind being
yeah.
fluffed. Yeah.
Yeah, fluff us. And then second part of our episode here, let's go over this. Now, I have not read this article completely, so we're going to kind of discover it together. This is also from Lone Star Live, I believe. No, wait a minute. We don't want this one. We want the other one, don't we?
Screen
want
Rant.
the one from Screen Rant.
Which I've read this one. You
Is
pretty
that
much
one?
could
There it is.
skip most of that first part and go to the part where it's like quote from it's in gray. There's like a gray
Thanks, man.
box
Appreciate it.
where Mike Judge it's like a quote from Mike Judge.
Yeah. Let me share the other article. This one is actually from Screen Rant. The Disney part freaks me out a little bit. But how King of the Hill Revival will be updated for modern setting, teased by creator.
Yeah, so
Creator.
so I'll summarize that first part
Yeah.
real fast, real quick. So pretty much there was a Hulu Animayhem panel, and Screen Rant was there. That's why they've got this article. Mike Judge was there, and he talked a little bit about the show. He didn't dive too deep into everything about what's coming up. He shared pretty much just some insights and stuff. So there's a video on there
Okay,
that you can go check out if y'all want to listen to it or whatever.
Working on it right now. It feels
Oh, you got it playing?
great.
Does it feel like visiting with old friends?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we have the original cast back, and a couple of them are here for Futurama, actually. But no, it's great. I mean, I King of the Hill, when we were first doing it, we were coming up with taglines, and it was something like, Andy Griffith is back and he's pissed off. And we didn't use that, but like, there's a little bit of like, oh, Hank's back and he's pissed off again. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was always, because like we talked about it being grounded and just sort of about everyday middle Americans, I think there's something to be said about that now that, well, I won't get too into how we're doing it, but it's going to be, they've been gone for a long time and they're back. They're maybe a little older.
That was kind of funny, though. I
somebody
think it's
else.
funny they
So
used.
basically,
I think it's funny that the tagline, one of the taglines they came up with when they were first doing the show was Andy Griffith is back and he's pissed off, because that's what Hank is. He just seems like an angrier Andy Griffith.
yeah, the thing is that didn't say much, but it is kind of nice to see Mike Judge reference it and talk about what they're doing. He says, the character's the same. They're just older. That's really it. That's the only thing that's changed. He says,
The Revenge Tour.
any revival represents a rare opportunity for an animated show to completely reinvent itself, yet while the opportunity exists, Judge is not interested in a complete change.
Which is refreshing
Thank
to hear that
God.
from him,
Yeah.
because a lot of the skeptical comments and emails we get is about the revival and about how the revival is going to be something completely different than the original show. But like we've discussed 100 times before, I just don't feel like that's a Mike Judge.
No.
I don't think that's built into his creative nature,
Once he's
especially
made
when it comes to
something,
King
it
of the
stays that
Hill.
way.
I feel like King of the Hill is meant to be the way it's meant to be, and Idiocracy right now is playing out in real time. So I wonder when he was doing that, how much of it he thought would actually come into like almost being true as far
Yeah,
as
I don't know.
Idiocracy goes.
Yeah, see, Artie says, see, I told you, a modern animated Andy Griffith. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's shitty Artie at all. Anyway, they are talking about how everybody's going to be basically the same. They're just older. Bobby has been aged from 12 to 21. It'll focus on his new life. Having left the fictional town of Arlen, Bobby is now living in Dallas as a chef and is beginning to have adventures of his own. There will be more changes as well. Much of King of the Hill's cast is returning, though there are a few members tragically passed away. We've already talked about this. Johnny Hardwick,
Brittany Murphy, Tom Petty.
all died before the revival could be produced, and the show will likely need to address those losses. Yeah, no shit. It may rely on recasting or cutting those characters significantly. Despite the differences, the core of the show should remain fundamentally unchanged, with Judge's interest in retaining the middle American atmosphere. The characters will likely continue to be grounded in the lives of regular, everyday people living through absurd situations. The sitcom humor will remain, and many characters will be returning. Judge's Hank Hill, Kathy Najimy's Peggy, Pamela Adlon's Bobby, Stephen Root's Bill, and Lauren Tom's Connie have all been confirmed as returning cast members.
And the other one, the Malay, I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but the Malaysian comedian for the new Khan.
With so many reprised roles, King of the Hill should remain a recognizable show. So, honestly, this is not much as far as an article goes, but it does show you that we have little to worry about simply because Mike Judge is not interested in changing the characters, just updating them. And so I'm excited about it.
Ronnie Chiang.
There you go. I'm excited about it because I think I'll take more King of the Hill in my life anytime I can get it. And if it's just a little bit later in their lives, it's fantastic. So, all right, that is pretty much all we've got for a Friday. By the way, if you get a chance, actually, let me put that in the chat real quick. I'll give you the thing. Lone Star Live. I just want to put it in the chat here so we have access to it.
Yeah, I'm glad that they recast Khan as well. I think it's cool that Khan's coming back. Khan to me is pretty important in the series.
I think Khan is important into the series. Just if nothing else, it's a break from the other four guys, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. We really appreciate it, and thank you to Taylor Kemments. I hope I'm saying that correctly. At Lone Star Live for writing this great article.
Thanks for writing an article about us.
Taylor, we will be reaching out to you, I promise. Guys, thank you so much. Yep, Connie too, Artie, coming back. But thank you for being here. You want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH on all social media. We're sitting at 669 subscribers. That's almost a 25-person jump since the last time that I looked at it. If y'all could go over there and hit subscribe, hit the notification bell.
We're talking YouTube. Right?
We're talking YouTube. BWAAAKOTH on YouTube as well. You can find us pretty easily on there. We've got 925 videos at this point on there. So I need you guys. I would appreciate it if you would go over there to that, click subscribe, click the notification bell and stuff like that. Once we hit around 1,000 subscribers, the algorithm loves us even more and
we'll
puts our show to more people. And we'll do something cool for 1,000 subscribers. Yeah.
Live pajama party.
It does pushes the way the algorithm and stuff on YouTube works is once you hit about 1,000, it kind of runs away with it for a little while. So I really want to hit that 1,000 mark so we could get out there and get to more viewers and get more people watching our show.
Also, if you can go to TexasCreatorAwards.com and vote for us under podcasts, that would be great. I think it's still just listed.
It says Rusty underneath the podcasts. Vote for whoever you want everywhere else. But on podcast it says Rusty. So if you go over there and vote for us, it would be pretty cool to win an award.
Pulled the names of the people rather than the show name.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, because then we could say we're an award-winning podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, you got it. And
so there you go.
We thank you guys once again, as always, for being here. You are the best fans in the world.
Yeah, we do appreciate you guys,
and we love seeing you
and
guys.
Gals.
And thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. We hope the consistency of us doing this is part of your life as you are part of ours. So thanks again. And one thing left to say.
Wimatanye.
Wimatanye. Indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.